welcome to just another podcast.
Yeah.
I am Darren, that is
Joel!
and today we're going to be talking about Aaron Lung.
Directed by Markiplier!
Oh! This movie was fucking boring.
Unlike our intro, am I right?
Yeah.
So, if you're wondering, Iron Lung is so popular because it's directed by a YouTuber, Mark Fashback or whatever his real name is.
Haven't a clue.
But his YouTube name is Markiplier.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, he's the funny guy who sits in a corner of the screen while he plays Five Nights at Freddy's.
I remember
It's that
watching
guy.
a TikTok of somebody or something. They went to see the first FNAF film.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, this isn't right. So they got like a big cutout of Markiplier's face and put it in the corner. I think that's better.
The funniest thing is but he turned it off since the film started. But the guy beside me sat with his phone on using his not his crotch area, but that part of his hands or whatever, to keep it up. But it was a still image of Markiplier emoting. I wish he kept it for the full film because I would have been more entertained by that reaction to the film. I was like, that's just good comedy. So it was. But anyway, so this was a video game adaptation as well from the game with the same name.
Yep.
And really the basis of the game was to take photos and really travel along and, do shit. Did you know much about the game before the film?
The only thing I knew about the game was watching other people play it online because I had no interest in playing it myself, and I'm not a PC gamer or anything, so if things are on Steam and all, I don't play them because they're not console releases for the most part. So all I knew about it, I thought it was an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And I was interested to see how is he going to bring this very it's simple but complicated at the same time sort of premise in the game.
Yeah.
Of taking pictures, making sure your oxygen and all is fine, and moving around to different locations.
Yeah.
And I thought in that context he did really well with conveying that on screen. Mm-hmm. And the story of the game as well on screen, the very minimal stuff you're given.
Yeah.
He done well.
Yeah.
But he done too much.
We'll get to that in a second. Personally, I did not know the game. Never watched Markiplier, but that's just there. It's a film in cinema. I watch it. That's just how it works.
Yeah, it's one of them big fucking things. You couldn't escape it.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyway, going in, it was a wee bit daunting being 2 hours, 8 minutes long. And you felt it.
You certainly felt it.
I was about 40 minutes in. I actually was like, what are we doing? By the time the film ended, I was like, this could have been a short film. This could have been 20 minutes.
It was a 40-minute short film on his YouTube a couple of years ago, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I felt like it could have just stayed that way.
Oh, I should have.
I haven't watched the short film. I only actually found this out.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know a little bit more about the making of it, because he is a YouTuber and he was doing this not solely independent, but very independent. I'm interested in that process. Mm-hmm. So I was doing just watching a couple of videos on it like that, and that's when I came across the short. I was like, I'm not sitting through another extra 40 minutes of the same thing I've just watched. Yes. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'll give him credit for the technical aspects are obviously rough. The sound mixing at the start's terrible because you can't hear the voiceover.
Yeah.
Above the ear. I get there's sound mixing issues or some ropey shots and stuff, right? That I understand that it's hard with technical aspects where you've got this guy who's making, as I'm going to say, his first professional film because we don't count fucking Smosh the movie, right?
Yeah.
But so he's new to this. I done a great job. Some of the shots here are really interesting. The whole red blood, it's that's all well and good. Technical aspects rough as expected. That's fine. But the real issue is it is just so boring. At times it is. I hate saying that because oh you don't have an attention span.
No, there's a difference.
Yeah. I've watched Barry Lyndon. I have an attention span.
There's a difference between being engaged with what you're being shown and just being bored.
100%.
So there is, and I was genuinely nodding off in moments of this film, which isn't like me. I'm not the type of person.
I'm jealous. I wish I saw it.
But actually, I really had to catch myself on.
Yeah. Catch yourself on.
Because I kept fucking, I have a hand against this because I was bored and I kept, when that one's your head starting to drip.
You woke up with pins and needles. I was like, Jesus. You've got a floppy arm like that. I know where it's going straight to.
The stranger.
That's good, the dead hand gang.
But no, I don't, you can't take away from the technical, what he's achieved, I guess, in making this film. With the route he went to do so, keeping it away from like studios and stuff.
Yeah.
And the fact that it had so much hype that theaters were putting it in because they listened to their audience. Yeah. Basically, like Bangor, the cinema we go to, they only released it there.
Bangor, Wales, guys. We're from Wales.
They only released it in that cinema because there was so much push for it.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's great to see films like that doing well.
Yeah.
But it could have been a better film.
See. My thing is, I was on serious from the start. I was silly when he put directed by Markiplier.
Yeah, I know. He should have used his real name.
See, if he'd done it at the end credits, I was like, yeah, fair. The film's over,
once it's over, yeah.
It made me laugh out loud. Like, I was just like,
there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is sort of hard to take someone who... I would never watch Markiplier's YouTube channel or anything really, but I've been so aware of him for so many years.
100%. Like, I'm
it's sort of hard to take him seriously as an actor, which sucks because he did have moments where I thought he was doing quite decent acting. I wouldn't say he was brilliant or anything, but it was always hard not to just look at him and go, Markiplier,
you know
what are you doing?
Who done a better job, and obviously it's different because he's a movie critic, or was a movie critic. Chris Stuckman, Shelby Oaks.
Oh, right, okay. He did do a good job with that film.
For being obviously first time director and like, that, like, I look at that and that's like, that's what I was going to say about Iron Lung. I admire the film as a whole more than I actually enjoy or like it.
Mm-hmm.
I admire the fact that this piece of media got put out, like, in a grand scale from a guy from a different background than film. I like that. I like that people get the opportunity to do that and it exists. But the film, no. The story as it went on, I don't know. I just kept on thinking, like, what is happening? Like, I get there's some big moments in it, but like, I don't know. It didn't really work as a whole. There were great elements, as I saw in your Letterboxd review, talking about the cosmic horror was cool and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I agree with that, but I just didn't find the story, as you said earlier, engaging or like really gripping my interest. I couldn't care about like, obviously we're spending time with mainly one character, but even the ones over that radio system, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't understand the logic of half of it. Yeah, so we're going to go closer to another ship here to get their computer data. Yeah. But then you have to move all the way back here. The send computer data is like, I'm not understanding the logic here either.
Yeah, it is very thin. So
yes, it is. It's wafer thin. So you could bite through it.
Yeah, and I felt like a lot of the issues with the storytelling come down to the pacing issue as well, because if they were to streamline this and make it a little bit more intense with what's happening, make it bang, 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 an hour and a half long, and keep all the story elements that it had, take away a lot of the close-ups of just him.
Yeah.
It might have retained our interest a lot more.
I think there should have been 90 minutes and add a couple more interesting moments with the ship getting like fucking battered or beaten and close calls to fucking like
what's outside.
Yes.
Make that more of an
amending thing. And actually show us what's outside.
yeah. Even if they showed it, like they did show us with the pictures he was taking.
Yes.
But they could have done it in a scarier.
Oh, I couldn't even I couldn't see the pictures that well. I was like,
yeah. What the fuck? There was a couple of them that I was like, yeah, that looks sick, because you did get a clear image of like some cosmic being.
Yes.
But they felt that needed more.
Yes.
So that in terms of story and substance.
It's definitely a game where it looked harder to adapt than other ones. Like I was saying,
it's ambitious for sure.
The easiest adaptations in modern games, right? I understand Iron Lung isn't the newest game in the world.
It just took so long for him to actually fucking get it out. Yeah.
But like, you look at really the PlayStation originals, honestly, like that, they're easy adaptations. We were talking about like Ghost of Tsushima and stuff.
Oh yeah,
like
because it's meant to be getting a adaptation of it.
Chad Stahelski, I think, at the helm, from John Wick fame. Again, You get the stunt guys and the action coordinators who worked on the samurai or the sword scenes in that be great. I'm interested. Like you have to obviously harness a lot of Akira Kurosawa isms because that's the game is based off.
Yeah.
His films, but that's an easy adaptation. You can really do any of the Telltales, like The Wolf Among Us. Again, they already feel cinematic enough. They don't need it, but just as a basis, there are games that I would love to see adapted.
It'll be interesting to see what your man does with Resident Evil.
Yes, I agree. That's interesting because the people behind it. Because like, if it was just another adaptation, I didn't like care about the director or cast, and it's like, what makes this different than the last one that came out or the original run? Again, like I understand. Again, you were saying you enjoyed the originals. That's fair. It's just it wasn't my thing at the time, but as you know, it wasn't like a clear narrative in terms of like the original games. There wasn't,
It's like they took the essence of the original film anyway. Took the essence of the games and adapted that more than adapting the story.
I think though there's definitely a lack of good video game to film adaptations. I mean, the recent ones like the Mario movie was just a silly fun kids film.
It was done the way it should have been done. I think really the Mario
geared
film
towards kids and stuff. That's fine.
And they only could have done that animated, honestly, after the dumpster fire that was the 90s adaptation of the Mario Brothers.
Though I actually didn't mind Detective Pikachu when it came out.
Yes.
I'm just fascinated by Pokemon in general.
I think the only thing I don't really like about it is Ryan Reynolds' voice, because if he isn't playing Deadpool for the most part, I don't really like him.
Yeah, fair. The Pokemon did look a wee bit ropey at times, but other adaptations just don't do it for me. Like the Monster Hunter one, terrible.
Oof, it was rough.
Try to think what even else was.
I know, because they done like obviously they had The Last of Us.
The first season. I enjoyed the first season. Never watched the second past like the first 2 episodes.
I didn't really watch the
just
second.
Just because like I do really like the second game. I'll admit, like I understand why people don't. I do like it. Not a patch in the original, but I really enjoy it. But when I was watching it, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch it where the narrative goes. I don't know if I want to watch this in this form that's currently in. Again, no disrespect to the actors, actresses, or people behind it. It's just like it wasn't keeping my interest.
Yeah.
I watched the first season of Fallout, but then there's so much time between season 1 and season 2, I stopped caring.
I would say watch season 2. I finished season 2, so did, and it is really good fun. It's as fun as the first series in my opinion.
I think I'm harsh in Fallout though. To be fair, I don't think there's been a good game since like 3.
Well, New Vegas.
Well, was New Vegas after 3?
Yeah.
Okay, New Vegas now. I like the only 2 that I've played that I've liked is 3 and New Vegas.
Yeah, I tried so hard to like 4, and you see just the base building stuff and the dialogue options and stuff really put me off it.
Yes.
So it did, and then 76 was
we all know what happened there. Try to think of what else really happened. Angry Birds was just a mobile game.
I know. You see,
Uncharted.
Uncharted. It shouldn't have been an Uncharted.
See if they titled it like I know, like fucking Adventure
Quest or some shit. If they just removed the Uncharted, but obviously they wanted to make a Sony licensed fucking film.
But obviously the cast wrong ages, wrong casting. It's like even like I don't even like the way when they met. It just didn't like work for me like it did in the games. Like Sully and
Nathan Drake.
Yeah, Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
His name, I was actually about to say the Nathan Fillion show played like 20 years ago.
Because they did a short with him years ago.
They should have just done a full feature of that like 20 years ago. But yeah, it was fine, but it just wasn't a good adaptation.
It's an entertaining swashbuckling film, but
just not a good adaptation.
Shouldn't have been Uncharted.
Try to think, is there anything else I'm missing?
They're doing a God of War. Is it a TV series or is it a movie?
TV series, I think so. I'm always more interested by film because like that's my
same. I would rather watch a movie than a TV series.
I could watch I could watch the 10 Friday the 13th films instead of a TV show.
Yeah,
like definitely. That's what I mean. Like that's.
I think it's because you watch a movie. Well, for the most part, it's wrapped up in an hour and a half. You're not watching a lot of filler.
Yes.
Which TV shows famously are full of.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to span the story over X amount of episodes rather than keeping it contained.
Until Dawn wasn't a good adaptation, but I enjoyed it enough.
Oh, that was such a fun film.
I
loved what they'd done with the idea.
Yeah, I like every time the genre changes.
Yeah.
I like that concept. I'd like to see that more, but it wasn't a good adaptation, if you know what I mean.
Aye, but then it's games like that where if you're
And
to
you can't-
adapt
you-
it, you're just
you
doing
can't.
the same story over again.
Silent Hill,
The new Return to Silent Hill.
I haven't seen any of that. I go watch one later.
The first Silent Hill is very good.
Yeah.
It's a good film.
Okay, that's fair.
And it's a good adaptation because, again, I like adaptations that do take the essence of the game without having to explicitly retell that story. Because you've already played it.
Yeah.
Do you really need to watch the same thing again?
Yeah.
Like, do you want to watch cutscenes in real life?
Yeah.
No, I don't anyway.
100%.
If I would love to see moments from the game
Yeah.
adapted into a film, yes.
Yes.
As fan service almost, or actually gravitating something towards the story, but I just don't want a repeat. You know what I mean?
100%. That's why Telltale games, again, I mentioned it now that I think about it, it's hard.
Yeah.
But Rampage was shit.
That was just silly.
Sonic, people glaze, I think they're fun, but I don't care.
They bored the tits off me for some
Yeah,
reason, the
that's
Sonic
okay.
films. Yeah.
What's the one I saw there? That's it, the Tomb Raiders.
The Tomb Raiders. Do you know what? I feel like I actually enjoyed the one that came out more recently.
I agree. I enjoyed that. I that was the adaptation of Tomb Raider I've enjoyed the most.
Yeah. Whereas the Angelina Jolie ones were just bonkers, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yes.
I'm interested to see what they do with Sophie Turner
She looks well as
Lara Croft.
Yeah.
Definitely. So it'll be an interesting one.
Prince of Persia.
It was a very forgettable film, but I feel like it was not an awful film, but again, maybe not the best adaptation.
All of the Hitman movies were shit.
Yeah, I do hold the Timothy, what do you call him, man?
Dalton?
No, is that his name? No. Timothy, fucking, it begins with an O or something.
It's not the Rupert Friend one, it's
No, it was awful.
Timothy Oliphant.
Elephant. I like that film, just because I think it's a bit of a fun film.
Okay.
And the way they shoot him sometimes from the back as it looks like the game and all, you know. I remember going to the cinema to see that and stuff, so it just has that wee bit of a, oh fuck, you know, Agent 47.
Warcraft.
Didn't watch it.
Yeah, fair. Assassin's Creed.
Didn't watch it.
Shit. And last, because I want to make sure we get through this before camera dies, Mortal Kombat.
Oh, fuck, I love Mortal Kombat. But I love Mortal Kombat, the game.
Yes.
I like the first film adaptation. The second film adaptation is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Annihilation.
Yes.
It's so funny. I did enjoy the newer film that came out, but I didn't like the main character.
I think I'll prefer the sequel to it.
Okay.
Because it focuses on the tournament.
It's actually doing the story of Mortal
Yes.
Kombat.
Yes.
I didn't like the new character they added for the new film. Cool, yeah. He's like a descendant of Scorpion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I felt like you have so many great characters.
Why
bring a new one in?
100%. But anyway, harken back to this. It's hard because I don't feel like it is entirely Markiplier's fault.
No. I think he had a passion project.
Yeah.
And he's obviously, I think whenever you are the helming force or something, it'll be hard to cut scenes and all, you know, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he's probably going to learn from this.
Yeah. I'm more interested to see what he does next. Same with Chris Tuckman.
I see where they go now with their careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's really all. Like I've said my piece, and I'm happy we've sort of got a conversation on the state of video game adaptations because I think it's like an interesting conversation to have.
Yeah.
That makes sense, but
definitely. And there's probably more of a conversation you could have if you start breaking down individual films more in depth and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's a thing for the future.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But I think we need a few more good ones before.
Just wait till the next one comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what's your rating?
Out of 10, I think I would give it maybe a 4.
I agree.
So do. And that's really just on how it was made more than the film.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm 4 as well.
Yeah.
So, anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and check us. We're the same as just another podcast on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and Instagram. Message, like, share, whatever. We're here. You know, just check us out and do whatever. Right, good night.
Bye. Bye. You doing a runner?
Yeah.